Oh, hello. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but Wombat was hiding. I had to go find him, dig him out, chase him out from under the bed. So we are here now. Sorry if I'm a little breathless. So the thing I was thinking about last night was basically the goal here is to wind up editing this transcript. Well, creating an editing process in general. I have started editing the Mag Matters, the most recent episode. .google.com. This is happening with Firefox, where I type into the bar, the address bar, and because even though you can see it, my typing overpowers it, and it doesn't actually winds up going to the wrong place. If anybody knows how to fix that with Firefox, it's really aggravating. But hey, Anya. But anyway, if I just type it and then wait for a second, it seems to work. Hello, Rismot. Good to see y'all. I don't know if anybody else is here. I want to say that I really appreciate when people say hi when they join the stream so I can know who's here. Apparently I can't see who's all viewing the stream just from my little interface here, I guess. But if you chat, I can. And it's just nice to know who's all around. So thanks for saying hey. Okay. Anyway, so looking at my transcript. Is this it? I think it's just called transcript. No, that's my fake one. I am looking for. Oh, it's under Magworld. That's right. I have a document for Magworld and. Oh, so slow. Mag Matter transcript. Gosh, I like it when things are local and fast, like we're making. So here's a transcript that I've done with the episode we've been talking about, and I've gone through it and edited out the basic things that I don't want to include. So this is like the rough cut, and then I want to do a content edit after this. So it's basically taking the this is basically everything that's been crossed out is like stuff I definitely don't want in there, and then I might wind up cutting a lot more, but I want to see how much time it is with everything cut, and I want to find out how long whole sections are, and then say, oh, this whole section is 5 minutes, that's not worth it, I'll cut that out. But I can't quite see it from this Google Doc, and I would have to do a lot more thinking, editing stuff, maybe even interacting with our editor in order to do that, or wind up editing myself. So what I want to do is take this existing cut here. I've already done this work. I want to make a small little tool that takes this, converts it into a useful format, and then I can merge it with the JSON that we have from our whisper text. And so the idea, and we've also cleaned this up and fixed a lot of typos and things, so that this is winding up being an actual more official transcript. And so I want to make this transcript be the canonical words, and then also take advantage of the fact we've already done this editing here, and then use the other transcript that we have for word level timings. So, oh yeah, okay, thanks, Rismot. It's because I started doing this process, or I wanted to do this process to actually start editing before I had a full tool. And there is an advantage to editing with Google Docs. That's fine. I understand you're kind of checking in. Thanks for letting me know where you're at in this. Google Docs is useful for some amount of editing because you can do it collaboratively with other people. And so Anya and I actually went through this document, listening to the full recording, and then cleaning it up, changing the speakers when they were broken or incorrect. I did the basic editing like I was saying. And so it's kind of handy in that sense. You know, we don't have a local CRDT. There's some talk about making a visit at a CRDT, which would be kind of neat, but that's a lot more work. But so that's why we have this Google Doc. Is like I said, we're trying to move the process of editing forward, even though like it's pursuing multiple paths, right? Like ideally, I would be able to do this all in Visit Data right now, but I can't, and I want to have something edited before next week when we're going to be recording another episode. So we did that, and then now it's like, oh, well, maybe I should merge this. I do want to merge this with the current stuff so I can continue editing with vdaw with vdaw. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Rizmat saying, I was listening to my recording live stream last night and realizing that when I respond to people, if I don't say their name, it's kind of weird for me to be like laughing or saying something. It's not clear what I'm doing. Anyway, so Rizmat, yes, adding CRDT to vdaw, it would be a really fun thing. Let's talk about it next week, see if we can. Okay. So the plan here was to export this as Markdown, current tab, export, save, and magworld transcript. MD. Okay, and this is going to be mag matter. I'm just going to put this as my MD in the DAW directory here. Okay. And so let's see what this looks like here. Take the Google Doc as MD, done that. Parse it. This is going to be merge MD and JSON transcripts. Merge this really kind of yeah. And so the idea was that the MD file is our canonical text because we've already edited it, and speakers, and then whisper.json is the canonical timings for every individual word. So we still want the data in whisper.json because we need the timings for better editing, but everything else could be starting from this transcript. So that's the idea anyway. I think it's actually kind of a good idea to have us merge script in general. My feeling is that this MD format that I just downloaded from Google Docs is the same format as we are outputting for from here when we're saving this .xmd format. So I mean, maybe this is just the thing. I mean, maybe the actual full process is to upload our .xmd to Google Docs, have somebody else, whether it's one person or more than one person, look and edit it, whether fixing up typos or whatever, and then bringing it back and then merging it back into the Whisper JSON file that we've already constructed. So yeah, that's the general plan. And so we got the DAW mag matter. I want to see what this looks like. Yeah. So it's there. This one here is using bold instead of. That's interesting. It is automatically escaping these brackets, which is fine, I guess. It doesn't matter to me too much, I don't think. Well, I want to parse these times, but otherwise we're just using the standard markdown strike through bits. And so I think what we're going to wind up doing is splitting it into, let's see here. So one idea that I had was to just split it into words and then have the timings. Well, yeah, I was thinking of splitting it into words, approximating the timings on the MD side of things for every word, but just kind of spacing it out. You know, if it goes from 746 to 823, you just kind of say every word fits into a certain slot. And then finding, like trying to like, it's doing a diff basically. It's like, how can we find the long stretches of words that actually are the same? Because, you know, mass of a proton is mag, for instance, should only occur, well, probably only occurs once in this general area, and maybe only once or a few times in this whole document. So I think if we're clever about it, and we know that the transcript is in a certain order, we should be able to put the words in a certain order, replace the words, only use the words that exist in this transcript, this MD transcript, and then pull in the timings from the .json. That's my goal. That's our goal. Can we do this? That's the big question. Let's find out. So, and this is one of the things that I'm actually a little scary about live streaming, is that I don't know how this is going to work. This might be a busted session. This might be one of those things where I'm like, oh gosh, I got an hour into it. I realized that this is really busted for this reason. Couldn't quite pull it off, and you know, I wind up looking bad. I don't know. I mean, I know it's just code and this is how it goes, but still, it's definitely taking a risk to say, here's what we're going to do, and then try to do it, and then we'll see if we can do it or not. Yeah, good question, Risma. Would it be feasible to use some diffing algorithms? I've been, in the back of my mind, noodling on this, trying to think of what the right diff algorithm would be, because if we use the standard ones, we would get the text. Thanks, Anya. We would get a diff of the text, but I really want a diff of the text plus metadata, you know, the text plus word things. So I'm torn as to whether I should be using an established diff algorithm or kind of make it up as I go along. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. I think to start with, I'm going to at least try to parse the .md and get timings and like basically convert it into the .json in the first place, and at least in a format that's closer to it internally, and then we can see how. Like hopefully that'll be pretty easy, and then if that works, then we can go from there and see how easy it would be to keep going down this path. Oop, shoot. It's funny, you can always tell when I've been in a Google Doc because there'll be just JKK moving up and down as though I'm in Vim, but I'm not. Okay. So I'm going to make a little side window here for magmatter. I'm going to make a new gvim window. And then actually make a, let's see, this is going to be parsexmd for now. I don't know, whatever. And I might even wind up putting this in the dot. I don't know. I'll do it here for now. By now you're probably familiar with some of my patterns of how I develop things in Python. This is my standard starting pattern with the main star args and then just passing everything on the command line to it. But so we're going to now take we're just going to give it the XMD file name here. Open it. Read everything. But actually, let me do it as just a line-based thing here. And so if we start with a hash mark, then we're gonna, I kind of want to make this be a generator. So basically, I want to wind up saying, you know, yield a marker here. Speaker equals marker. Current time, let's call it T. Time. Start and end. Leave it out. And so I'm not going to do this main. I'm going to do a iter xmd. So for now, we're just going to print out the JSON row. And we're going to wind up doing something with it afterwards. We're going to wind up doing the merging process probably, I think. Okay, so first of all, the marker happens with this header. I don't know. Word equals natural contents. Line.strip. Else. If not line. Actually, we're just going to say if not line, just continue in the first place. Now, it should start with a timestamp. So we're going to parse out the timestamp. And I want to make sure that we're getting both the backslash and the, well, and or without it. Let's find out. So we're going to parse the line, and it's going to have the, we're going to use match, I think. And regex is going to be optional backslash with a timestamp and then numbers. A bunch of those. That's what we're going to capture. And then closing brace, and then the speaker, possibly. So this is going to be A to Z, multiple, but no spaces. And then a colon. Oh, but this whole thing is optional. And then we've got everything else, which is the actual text. Okay, so why doesn't that... Okay, I just made this regex up off the top of my head, and that's true. I could just use Saul or Mike for this one. That might actually be a reasonable idea, Rismot. I guess I'm ambitious, and I think that I can just whip out a regex like this and have it work. We'll see if I'm right. I may wind up reverting to exactly what you're saying there, and we'll see. Okay, so mdoc groups, we're going to print this out. Actually, we're going to yield, and there actually is a syntax in Python for regex, Python regex match. I think I should actually just find the Python regex. Maybe this is it here. I want the one that will put it as a dictionary group or a element anyway. So let's see here. Here, question mark P with the name. Question mark P equals, what does the equal mean? Oh, I see. That's how to reference it. A question mark P and then I think it's brackets. I think it actually literally use the brackets. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have this be question P time or start. And then this one here is question P speaker. And this one here is question P word. Okay, And so now it's going to put it in the dictionary, I think. I think if I just do yield groups, not, well, maybe actually. I'm going to print it first. I know. So I have an answer for that, Rismot, which is that it's like APL. APL is a very powerful language, but everything is condensed to a single character or two, just like in regex. And it looks intimidating because you have to know the language in order to do anything with it. Like you can't even look up backslash or backslash D in Google. Whereas if it said, alphanumeric digit or just numeric digit, you'd be at least be able to parse it out in your head in words. But it's actually important for the purposes of construction that they are super small units of symbols, and you aren't saying the full thing every time. Like it seems like it's a good thing to be maximally expansive, but there's a reason that math equations and these little domain-specific languages are the way that they are. Like most of the time is spent there with people who are experts, and they want it to be dense. I want a regex to be a one-liner. I don't want to be pacing it out. I mean, you can actually write a regex that's spaced out over 6 or 10 lines or whatever, and it might be better for maintenance in the general case, and I think some people do that, but I'm interested in it being a one-liner. I want to be able to paste this onto the command line, paste it into whatever JavaScript regex parser. So anyways, that's my theory as to why they thought they're meant to look intimidating, but because they're maximally compressed, they look intimidating, and you have to kind of know what you're doing. Now, I know what I'm doing a little bit, and I still find them intimidating, but that's before I start reading them. Like, as long as I've got some basic things like the ability to track where you can see the highlighting here. I'm on the first bracket, and it shows me where the ending bracket is. Some niceties like that, then I seem to be able to get by. Of course, if the regex gets too complicated, then I'm stuck just like everybody else. So anyway, theory. So x bin parse xmd, and then we're going to run that over the mag matter thing and see what happens. No, I can actually import that. String. Oh, I actually matched something here. Oh, and there's no match. But that's, if not M, we're going to print the actual line because that's not right. I think actually this is probably not working. Oh. Okay, so the first thing is, wait, huh? Print M. Oh, there's no groups in the, wait a second. Okay, let's look at the match object here. Yeah, sure thing, Rismot. No problem engaging with you. Thank you for being here. Anyway, let's look at this groups match object. Match group dict. There we go. Okay, well, I seem to have gotten it anyway, so something's going on in my head. Okay, so it looks like it works when there's a speaker, and when there's not a speaker, it doesn't pick it up. And oh, and then there's also the possibility that the entire line is struck through, and I have to be able to track the strike throughs separately from the, let's see, how am I going to do that? Okay, we're going to make a Yeah, it looks like every line has its own strike through, which is good. And that means that I can do this on a line by line basis. So we're going to make there be one more thing, which is the tilde optionally. That's going to be start cut. Let's call it that. And because we have to actually then go through the word, the text, and split it up based on things that are cut versus not. Oof. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. I feel nervous. It's not clear to me that this is going to work or not. Why didn't it pick up? I don't have that. So we're looking at this here. Space is fine. Speaker. If it's not there, oh, there's not two spaces. That's the issue. Okay. So if it's there, then there's a space. And here we go. And the speaker is the same as the previous speaker. So we're gonna keep track of a previous row here. And then I'll make it be a dict, why not? And then in this case, unmatched. And it just dies. So anyway, in the case that we have a match here, oh, I'm sorry, right? In the case that it is there is no speaker, so we use the previous row's speaker. Sure. And then the time is going to be in seconds, so I want to parse that out. The start time equals parse HMS. And it's funny that I use this in my other code, but it's hard for me to remember every single time that it's HMS. I want it to be HHMMSS, which is really interesting that that's like what my brain goes to. Start, if there is no time, no, there always is a time. So we'll do that. First row line always has, I don't know 100%, but it currently does, and it would make sense that like the only reason it doesn't have that a line doesn't have a speaker is because it's a continuation from the previous speaking line. So it would make sense to me that the first line always has a speaker, and I'm going to go with that theory for now. If it's not the case, I'm going to have to go back and fix this script, which always fun, but so we're going to split this on the colon, and this is going to be HMS, and then we're going to return H times 3600 plus M times 60 plus, and actually it's going to be int. Float S. That might cover it. So that's going to be the start. And then the end is going to be the next one. And so we actually want to do the end equals previous row get. No. I'm going to say the previous row end equals the current row start. Okay. Although I've already printed out the previous row, so that's not so great. So maybe I do just need to make all the rows once. And so we're going to do a row.append d, and the row.append d anyway. And prev is now going to be rows -1. Okay, and then we're going to go through and return rows. Sure. See what happens here if I do this. Not rows. Okay. So there's at least one place in here where we don't have a timestamp. Oh, this is one of those times when we've edited, where we've edited the transcript to fix the speakers, but we don't have the timestamps there. What's the rows for, Rismat? Are you giving me some thorns? Oh, lol. I see. Row versus rows. Totally understand. Good pun. Okay, so how are we going to handle this? Because I was kind of depending on timestamps. I could have like the most recent. Oh, no, it's fine, Anya. I wouldn't expect you to put the time in there in the first place, or anyway, like you don't know what the time is. Only from the word level timings could we find out what the timestamp is. And so this is necessary. The only thing we would do differently is to not have done this in Google Docs, which we're aiming at, but we didn't do for this one. And so now we're going to try to fix it. And I think it's a good thing for us to do this anyway, both to understand what has to happen. And also, I'm not sold that Google Docs isn't the right way to do this in the first place. So it might be part of our process, and then this is the script we run afterwards. So I'm actually, I'm motivated to get this right. So let's see here. How are we going to handle, actually, you know what? We're going to do a little to-do, like classic thing here. So at least I can get it out of my head, and like, if I can solve it, then great. If not, then I can at least move on for the second. So how to handle lines without timestamps is one thing. So I think that we are going to wind up relying on, well, you know what though? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the timestamp is optional. Yeah, let's just go with that for now. Let's just go with timestamp being optional for the moment. And then that means, no, it didn't work. Why did that not work? Oh, sorry, on the outside. This one. The whole thing is optional. Then there's no space. Then there's no thing in there. So if t, well, actually I don't have a t yet. That's the previous timestamp. Okay, so we're actually going to make this be rows -1 end. And then get rid of QT. Yeah, you know, I think you're right, Risma. The timestamp can be just taken from the Whisper thingy, and I think GDocs are more there for quality control of the merge. I think you're right. I think that probably is exactly where we're heading. And I was thinking it'd be like integral or essential for the merge, but everything's in order. Like you said, quality control. And so maybe we more or less ignore them while we're doing the merge. Let's go with that as an assumption for the moment and see how bad it gets. Very reasonable. Okay. So only if it is not none. I can just make this be if none. I don't like it, but whatever. Okay. Yep. If rows, else 0. Okay, this made it through at least parsing everything. Could the same be true for speaker? No, it can't be true for speaker because that's one of the things we actually are editing in this, or have edited in this transcript. When, in fact, literally this line that I'm sitting on right now, it doesn't have a timestamp because looks like Anya noticed that it was not the correct speaker. And so she separated the line out. It looked like it was me. It wasn't. She said, oh, this is Mike saying that. And so we have to depend on the Google Doc version, the MD version for the canonical words and speakers. Okay, so I have it working now. So that everything is being parsed anyway. That's good. And actually, we're going to move the start cut. Here's what we're going to do. If the... I'll change this out here. If there is a start cut, then we're just going to prepend to Word. If start cut, then dword equals plus dword. And so this way, all it does is migrate this from the start of the line into the actual text. And then we're going to do the splitting of these things based on the word. That's the next thing we're going to end up doing. I think maybe even right now. Is that really the next thing to do? I think so. Oh, I looked at that speaker. It needs to be the previous speaker. Yeah. Oh, there is a speaker, but it's none. Okay, fine. Okay. Richard, thank you for joining for a second. Please come by later. If you come by at 2 o'clock, I usually start explaining off what's going on at the outset. Yeah, say hi then. Looking forward to see you in the future. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure this all looks legit. I think it does. Okay, we're going to do this splitting, the cuts, which is the next big thing here. So let's do this. Okay, so how do we split a segment up based on the cuts? We can split based on tilde tilde, and then everything before is uncut, and everything basically you're going to alternate. It's probably the easiest way, right? Just take parts, segments, something like that. split on that thing there. And then now we're going to, for each part, we're going to start with it being cut equals false. And then so sorry, I'm thinking this through at the moment here. If the first part, if it is cut, then we do take this part, P, and we basically make a copy of the dict. And we say that the word for this is P. And then we basically yield it, which is an append. Otherwise, do the same thing with it not cut, and we append it. So I mean, this is kind of, isn't so great. Maybe it works. Nope. That's just gonna, okay, how do I break this? Oh, because I don't need to alternate. I can talk through an example of what my desired result looks like. Do you mean in JSON format or just, sorry, Rismat, yeah, answering you. Do you want like a JSON output or just like, do you want a generalized idea of what I'm going for? Because it is clear in my head, but of the cutting. Okay, yeah. So look at this over here. We've got this segment of words here has a break in the middle where we cut out the second half of it. And so what I want is for this then to turn into something like that. So that every cut and non-cut thing is its own complete individual line. This is exactly what we do in vdaw when we're looking at the transcript. We have to cut or not cut full lines. And so the whole goal here is to make that be compatible with the vdaw transcript notion. Does that make sense? Because all we're doing is splitting things up based on the cut points, the cut points, and then making each line be wholly cut or wholly uncut. Let me know if that makes sense. Yes, exactly. More digestible cuts. And yeah, it's kind of like it's doing the work that we would have done in vdaw with the add marker or split command. Yeah. So this did not work. Why not? Copy D. Oh, because D is, well, oh, I want to actually add the new row. Not D. Okay. Oh, and then the new row word. That's my own. Okay, that's my own problem. Okay. So now we have if word, or if P rather, not P, continue. Okay, so this is exactly, oh, no, it can't be. If, okay, here we go. I think this is reasonable. Sol, I took all the math, great. And then I say, hey Mike, how's it going? It's cut, great, everything's cut. Oh, but I'm gonna remove the tildes. Oh no, I don't. What am I doing? I don't want. It's always gonna be. Oh, okay. No, this is bunk. If cut, then new row cut equals true. That's all we're doing. Okay. And we got strip. I think this is more or less legit. Let's see what happens if I'm going to delete the start cut here. I think if we do this and then save this off as some, I don't know, transcript file. Oh, there's something else in there. And it's not a... What would not be? This is not compatible because that's not literally the right structure. Word segments with an array of the words. So that's all it's. Dict word segments equals rows. It's not iter anymore. It's just parse xmd. Okay. Nope, not that. And Bob's your uncle. Start and end times aren't correct, or what's that error? Oh, end, I have parse end similarly. Okay, fine. Fine, parse. Sure, okay. Oop, not that. Fine. Okay, so then we're going to do if not HMS, return HMS. Maybe. Okay. So I think this is, to a first degree, the parsing. Okay, actually, okay, so there's, okay. So I have a little bit of an issue, which is the intermediates have no timestamps. I'm just going to press play here and see what happens. Oh, I don't have the actual audio. Okay, of course. Well, okay, let me move this. Oh, am I going to do this? Move this to the DAW, but it's going to be... I do need a kind of a way to specify the source audio. Oh, it's in there, though. Oh, I'm just going to... Okay, for the moment, I will just hack it together and say source audio equals. Okay. No matching audio file, really? Is it wave? No? thought source audio, that was what it was. Source audio. If I grab it from the whole load there. Oh, I didn't save it again. Herp-a-derp. Okay, now let's see if we can actually do this. Let's try going on here. Oh, not that. And it has, so okay, so that seems to work to a first degree. And so there we go. We have a, and I'm actually going to change. How is the, by the way, can I ask you guys, how is that audio in relation to my voice right now? Was it like super loud, or was it like the same volume? Because like for me, it's louder. It feels like it's a lot louder. But if it's fine, I'll leave it as it is. If it's loud, then I will reduce the sound. Oh, okay, well, good enough. I may, I'll turn it down just a little bit, but okay. Very echoey. Huh. Oh, you know what? I wonder if my microphone isn't picking up the sound from my headphones. Even though they're enclosed, it's close enough that maybe that's what's happening there. Okay, so anyway, this seems to work, the parsing of it. And now we're going to do the merging of it, I guess. See if we can pull in the legit timestamps for the individual words. Ugh. Ugh, I'm so scared. Why am I so scared of this? So, huh. Yeah, Rismod asked if I'm scared because of the complexity, and I think it's true. I think what's happening is I'm trying to fit too much in my head at once. Like I can see or feel the complexity of it, and it feels kind of overwhelming. Whereas if I actually just try to do one line at a time, I would probably get further. Well, I mean, that's what you do with things that are too complex is you break them down, right? Like you start with something and then kind of like grow it as you discover more cases. I think I'm envisioning the whole puzzle here. And yeah, I'm scared of things like all the punctuation differences and how do we, like sometimes in the other transcript, there'll be words that just like are going to be missing in this transcript because they're wrong. How do we deal with words that have been completely edited down? It's like the confusion between, because if it was a one-to-one mapping and the words were changed, then no problem. We'll just take the transcript word and take the timing from the JSON file. But some words are going to be removed, some words might be added, and some words are definitely going to be changed in terms of typos. So how do we figure out which is which? And the right answer, I think, is just start and do a crude job and see exactly how good we can do with it just being, doing a brute force, just simple method. And seeing if it completely breaks, if it falls off the rails, or if we can get to a place where the words are fine for the most part, so the word timings are fine for the most part, and just some words don't have the correct timings, which we can probably even live with because most of the time we're not going to need the exact word timing. It's only when we do a cut right on a word that we care. So as long as most of them are fine, probably most of them are fine. Then we can actually tell when we're doing the editing whether we hit it or not and manually adjust if we didn't. So I think this is just a fear thing that I need to jump and start. I mean, this is, yeah, kind of it. But, emotional management is the hard part of any job, I think. Okay. And so this is going to be MD rows and whisper rows, maybe. And this is going to be the whisper FN. And then combine transcripts. Okay, so we're going to get the MD rows and the whisper rows. And actually, this is great. Whisper rows will have the source audio. Well, if it does. So we're going to get the whisper. Oh, we'll do that in combined transcripts here. Combined transcripts. This could be MD. Sure. It's not rows, but I don't know. Okay. So this is going to be MDT has accurate speakers and words. Whisper T has accurate word level timestamps. Now there is one other thing here which we may not solve this time, which is that we already have been rolling up things in vdaw in this vdaw, and so there may be like multiple levels of stuff in the transcript. It's basically an open question whether this thing needs to combine any transcript that vdaw can open here or just the one that came straight from Whisper. They're pretty close, but that may be an issue. So, okay, so now, excuse me. How are we going to iterate through these things? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull these up side by side here. So I can stare at them. Not that one, but this one. And we're going to undo everything just to see here. These are all the word level timestamps from Whisper. Let me start at the top here. Hello, and so we're gonna first of all.
Hello.
Wow.
Magworld.
Stop that. We're gonna take out. We're gonna take out the punctuation. So let's look at this here. So only word, no punctuation. Pair only words. I kind of think that we can, yeah, for a first pass, let's just split the whole transcript, the MD transcript, into words, and then look for the first word that matches. This might be like if there's a hello that's been cut. Basically, I'm thinking if let's just say we're looking for hello and welcome. If we search word for word, we're going to find a hello perhaps that's been cut, and then we'll basically put the wrong one in there. This is what I'm a little bit worried about, is that if we aren't paying attention to the time at all, then we are going to wind up making some pretty big mistakes. Like there's plenty of times where I will say, I don't know, foo bar baz, but I kind of screwed it up. And so I say, I don't know, foo bar baz. And the first one got cut and the second one did not get cut. But in this scheme that I'm talking about, the first one would be the one that would be matching. And so I think I need to use the timestamps at least for some kind of anchor. And actually, maybe what it is, okay, maybe it's not that well, sorry, this is probably me overthinking it still. Just anticipating problems, you know? Okay, let's just do it. Let's split the thing here. This is MBT. What was it called again? Word segments. And then row word is what we're going to split on here. And for every word, and this is in the markdown transcript, which is wholly accurate. So I want to say this is the real word. With punctuation. But we're going to find the next word in the yeah, exactly. I do feel that way, Rismat, that it is a diffing algorithm. What would let's see. So this is a good question. I'm not going to do this right now. Well, I'm not going to do the actual research right now. I'm going to do that afterwards. But if you have ideas of what to search for, what I would be looking for in order to research these algorithms, I mean, I can look for diffing algorithms myself, but those are usually for pure text, and we're doing timestamp based text. And so looking for an algorithm that would take timestamps into account maybe, or anyway, some very first level stuff on that. I'd appreciate it if you have ideas. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna for today. I mean, it's already 3 o'clock now. I've probably got another half an hour maybe in me. So if I can get it to a first degree to do the work, then tomorrow I can. Well, tonight I can do a little bit of research, and then tomorrow I can clean it up. And that would leave me in a good space to actually start doing the proper editing this weekend and be playing around with the editor that we've already constructed in vdaw. I would appreciate that, Rismat, if you did look into it. Even just some keywords. Like, you know, ideally I'd be looking for either a Wikipedia article or a blog post or a paper that talks about it, and I could read it in an evening. And exactly, Anya, yes, building the wish list for next week. So I wind up suffering through the basic things and saying, oh, you know, I want it to work like this. I take some notes. And then next week, we go ahead and implement those things. And then, I mean, once we are in that loop, things are going to really start screaming. We're really going to make a lot of progress quickly. Honestly, I say that, but I've been on live stream here for, I think, about 10 hours, maybe a little more. And we're already to this point, and that feels pretty good. I don't think we're actually doing poorly here. So, okay. I wanted to, let's just see if I can't through this. So we've got the word level things, whisper T, word segments. And these are the word timings. And when we're looking through the words in the transcript, we're going to be looking for the next word in the thing. So this is going to be actually, I'm going to do this. We're just going to pop off word T equals word timings dot pop, and then if word T word, this is going to be a cleaned version of it, equals a cleaned version of the W, then we'll just take that timing. We're going to do a duplication of the row. And we'll highlight D as a thing. Start equals word T start, and end equals word T end, and the row is the actual word. No. Oh, this is the source rows? No, what was the actual thing that holds it here? Base rows. So, yeah, we're going to basically take the row here and row.base rows. Okay, so we're kind of composing this. Speaker equals row.speaker. Honestly, I don't think I need to copy this at all. I'm just going to make a new bit. Start and speaker word equals the actual uncleaned word. Right. And we add it, and then we break because we founded it. I don't know, man. This is not going to do... I don't know. I think this is going to be completely broken, but let's find out. So this, we added it to that. Now we're going to add, we're just going to return MDT. And then the base rows should have the timings in them. Oh, of course. So this is going to be, oh, I have to find the... Going to merge transcripts. There's the A. So I think A is probably the most recent one. And so we're going to take this A. Clean doesn't exist, of course. All it is just stripping out everything but the letters. So Or numbers. Is alphanumeric? Is that how that goes? Alma. Okay. Let's see how bad this is. So now we're going to open it all up. No base rows. What's word segments? Start and that's wrong anyway. For some reason their ints are always rounded, but there's no base rows anywhere. So we just didn't figure it out. Okay, well. Okay, so now we're going to have to step through it and just see what is going on. Print out the word. And we're going to, yeah, sure, let's just print out the word and print out the word T and see what happens. Okay. Why is it not printing out? Oh, because it's going through each of the word timings. Okay, so first of all, the hash mark shouldn't be in there, and I do need to have this thing of, you know, if there is a clean word at all. Otherwise, we're looking for an empty string, which is not legit. So why is it getting the hash mark? It must be in the marker in the first place. I think we're gonna, if marker, then just do it. Just ignore, continue. Okay, so firstly, that one. Let's see how good we do here. So word segments base value, is that right? Base rows rather. So figure out the first one. The first one worked, and then after that it stopped working. So why? Okay, let's add those back. Try again. Are you recording? Okay, great. Okay, so then, so hello. Okay. Oh, look at that. Huh, so here we go. This is exactly the complexity that we're talking about here. So look, okay, okay, versus okay. Like, yeah, exactly. I'm not going to ask an LLM to do the comparison. What we have to do here, I think, is have some kind of heuristic or time-based thing or something, and we're just going to wind up skipping it. If we don't find it soon, we have to just kind of mosey on along and accept that the time is going to be wrong or off anyway. Yeah, I know there's some lag in the chat. It's I tried with low latency and with ultra low latency. There's always going to be some lag, at least a few seconds. I mean, I think there might be, if we use a different service like Twitch, maybe there would be better. I don't know. I apologize, but also I'm not sure there's much we can do. Um, yeah. Anyway, thanks for bearing with it. But yeah. So I think. Well, first of all, the clean also needs to lowercase everything, because that's going to be an issue too. And I could do. I mean, I'm also thinking about how, there's mag world one word and there's mag space world, which will come out across as two words. I'm actually okay. I think we're just gonna have to make some kind of heuristic here, which is, like I said, if I can't find it soon enough, then it just skips over it. So instead of doing the pop here, we're going to start from the beginning and we're going to look through the word timings, and then it's kind of like if I is greater than, I don't know, 10, we're just going to break without having found it. And find it. And then otherwise, if we do find it, the first one we do find, we're going to do this proper thing that we're doing here, and then also remove everything up into that. So ideally, Ideally, it's only removing the first row, but word timings. Let's see here, if and delete that too. But actually, it should be I plus 1, I believe. See how it goes. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be imperfect, but maybe catch up. And that's all I really wanted, was for it to be not totally terrible. Okay, so here we are. And then if well, first of all, we're just going to see if this works. So if I split it up, I don't know, I'm around some 25 minutes in.
I'm trying to think about what the uses of, because silver is still valuable.
Okay, so that was an error in this here. T is float and r.end is none. Okay. So I may have literally hit onto a case where the end was not specified. I have to see if we just, let's see here. And I'll either have to fix the vdaw to allow for it, which probably I should probably, whenever I say this, I should either do this or that. I should probably do both. In any event, fix it so that the vdaw doesn't break in this case. It just kind of ignores it. And this actually winds up putting a valid end time everywhere, which it's apparently not. I don't know why. I think. Enumerate rows. Oh, okay. It's because the ending is literally not. No, it is here for this. Okay, we're gonna open it up. Oh. Oh, I screwed this up. This base rows. No, only once. So. Yeah, okay, we're gonna load this up again and just see here. So, base rows. There's plenty, a lot of these, and then they try to be zeros later on. So it's actually, so it has fallen out of sync here. Where does it fall out of sync? It's working, it's working, it's working. And then after, somewhere around here, it falls off a cliff. And I think it's probably matching like the so's and the, just like, yeah. So why does it stop here? So let's look at the base rows. And unroll them. Oh, it's going to do all of them. Okay, fine. Here we go. Okay, so you can see it, touch it, lift it, throw it. How do we measure matter? Look at this. We matter, you, it, so, yeah. So then it falls down here. For some reason, it's not finding it. So let's see here. Where's my other... And actually, let's see. Look at this here. I probably should save off... We're going to take this and we're going to save this as mmxmd. Oh. Okay, let's fix you then. Okay, and then now if we look at side by side here, edit temp, no, not that one, xmd, we should be able to see this here. So let's do the math. Let's get into it. Why didn't that... Okay, we're going to put those things back on here. I think we actually only need some 3, let's just say. Again, I could use the for else construct, and I'm just not going to, because I find it confusing. Okay. So we're going to lift it. Okay, so let's look here. So 5 people. What's that about? Huh. People. What are people are? Huh. Well, okay, hold on a second. Something's screwy here. Six-figure salary is mag. Wow, okay, so this is exactly the problem here. Then the number of. Oh, okay, so it actually is getting the problem up here is 1 less than the number of figures. Right. So a 6. Oh. So I think that in our transcript, the word level transcript, there are a bunch of extra, let's see here, words, which is the problem. It's like figures salary. It's like salary. The mag level is 1 less than the number of figures. So a 6-figure, right, except salary, this is where it's screwed up. Okay. And it's because mag low doesn't matter. Mag level is 1 less. Oh, this is so gruesome. So this is why we're having problems. It's just like this. And so yeah, we may need a better diffing algorithm. Sorry. Okay, let me ask you your questions here, Ismat. Oh, okay. Why are there? Oh, okay. Well, the output is funny because I'm literally doing a printf in here where I'm printing out the word that we're searching for and then the words that we're going through. And so it's this is just debugging output. That's what you're seeing there. So now I'm looking into the words that are in this. This is our whisper-based transcript, and I want it to look like, effectively, so a 6-figure salary is 1 less than the number of people. But you'll notice that there are all these extra words in there. It's because there's like multiple steps here. One is that we're interleaving things. Maybe we should do this with both transcripts that are parsed separately instead of doing this interleaving first. That might really clean this up. That's one possibility. The other one is to use, like you were suggesting, a whole other diffing algorithm that takes this into account and fixes it. So if we were to, I'm not sure exactly how good or bad the individual ones are. That would be super handy if I could like just take 1/2 of the discussion, use that for the word level timings for one person, and then merge with the other one for the same thing with the other one, except for then we really have to be able to parse or do this merge with limited information. So it's kind of like, are we going to choose a having too much stuff in the Whisper transcript or having not enough stuff in there. And if we have too much stuff, we're in this exact position where it's not going to be able to find the right words. And if we have too little, then we have to make sure that we are skipping ahead to the things that it can figure out. It might be like an inversion of this loop so that it is looking through the Whisper transcript first, trying to figure out which things it should map to. Anyway, this is where I might conk out for the day and do some thinking. And hopefully come back tomorrow with an idea for how we're going to deal with this. But I do have to say that I feel like we're in a reasonable situation. Like this is where I wanted to get to, where it's doing the merge to a first degree, or the parse and then the merge to a first degree, and now I just gotta just have to fix it, make it work. So anyway, I'm gonna head for the day, and like I said, do some more thinking, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, awesome, absolutely. Risma, thanks for being here. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow too. Okay, cheers everyone. And Wombat, see you tomorrow, buddy.